Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for MAV. Now, one thing I want to make clear about charts like this, where we don't have a lot of price history and no clear Elliott Wave count, is I tend to lean towards just regular price action because I've seen these play out several different ways in the past. Now, the first way is we make a move to all-time highs, as we are here. Just ignore this ridiculous candle. But we're consolidating at the previous high over here. And what tends to happen is either we reject to the downside and we're stuck in a range for a very long time, or we consolidate above and we break out into price discovery and things get very, very bullish. So those are the two scenarios I usually see play out here. So trying to get a reliable Elliott Wave count on this is almost impossible. What I would suggest is look at evidence and see if you can lean into one way or the other and at least know where you're wrong. So what I would do is if we break this low at the previous highs, I would suspect we're probably going to start ranging just within this area for a very long time. Now, things we can do is figure out what time frame it's actually trending on. It doesn't look like the 4 hour. The 1 day. Yeah, looks like we're on the 1 day. As you can see, we're holding for the most part on the uptrend at the 50 as support on RSI. And then we finally broke it here, which means we're in the larger correction. Where we'd look for a bounce in this area is right at between the 40 and the 50, which we are at right now. So that's just a little bit of evidence I look for there. And you can also see we have hidden bullish divergence currently. I don't overuse RSI. I think it's a bad idea to rely on it too much. I just use it at specific pivot areas where a trend could change, or if I'm looking to take profit on the smaller time frames and I have a completed wave count. As you can see here, we also have hidden bullish divergence all the way down, so it's looking like potentially we have a correction complete. And we also have it in the area we would like, consolidating at the previous high. So what I would suggest is either this completely fails, we come make a push, looks like we have 3 here, and then we just collapse again, probably come up, retest, collapse again, be a long drawdown. Or this is a 1-2, we get our 3, 4, 5, we come consolidate above this previous high, something like this, and then we launch. That's usually the way I see them play out. So if this is some sort of diagonal, again, good luck trying to count that. I would suspect it's either 1 there or 1 here, 2 over here. And we're looking to launch for our third if this is the bullish wave 1 and 2, looking for targets for our third around 431. But again, it's tough to target when you are in price discovery. What's more reliable is to count the waves out, see what fibs they're hitting, etc. These are just rough placeholders. So if we're in a bullish scenario, you'll also see this on a lot of these coins. We tend to get truncations right at the bottom. I would actually just start my trend from here and see the reaction when we finally get up there. Just targeting a 5 wave move for now. But the question I always ask myself is that worth the risk for a 1% on my account? And the answer is always yes. Do not have to be right that often for this to be profitable. To that 1.618, if we do get a third wave from current price, is 560%. So I'm not telling you what to do. This is just in my experience, that's the 2 ways I see it play out. So we'll go down to the 1 hour. You won't see divergence on this leg. It's a WXY unless you're way down on the very, very small time frames. So I pulled our pivot. If this is the one or if this is the one, this could obviously be a W. Probably this one. And then we got a 3-wave move to the upside. Boom, boom. that looks like it matches better than this one if you just look at it with your eye. So got a very extended WXY. Let me see how that lines up with time. Sometimes on diagonals we don't get much, we don't always reach that 618 time extension. Sometimes they go pretty quick. I would argue this is the bottom and we got a truncation. Very close. But I've seen diagonals where they, if this was our diagonal, they literally just boom, boom, you know, we get another one too and we take off. Anyways, I'm not trying to stretch rules, but you can see we're pretty close to our guidelines. And we're getting a nice pattern here and finding support on previous resistance at a potential price discovery area. Depending on what chart you look at, you can see some didn't even have that candle. I don't know if that was just a MEXC thing, but I'm looking at the price history on CoinMarketCap and they don't have that candle. We're technically at price discovery already. So take that for what you will. But it's looking good. And what I've decided to do here is I am not currently in this trade. It does look like a potential mid diagonal or a diagonal complete, and this is a tiny ABC. Very hard to judge. We're on such tiny time frames here to actually predict a count, but I would like to see this previous low protected. We came to the 1.618 extension and we wicked through that and rejected really hard. So how I am playing this is kind of a risky trade, but I look for position size always. I fully understand I might have to enter this trade multiple times, but the position size is worth it to me. If we reach that like $5.60 mark, I can literally like multiple my profit multiple times by having my stop very close than at the low, and I'll just enter several times. So what I'm doing is considering that this could be a 1-2 as a diagonal potentially, and I am buying the breakout above this level. I will be triggered in my stop right at this previous low. So I'm anticipating the fact that this could launch. Now it could not. We could absolutely come up and we're actually making some sort of larger diagonal, right? That could be our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I get stopped out down here and have to look for a re-entry over here. I fully understand that. So you need to make your own decisions on these things and what style of trading suits you best, right? If I was just holding this for the long term, I just put my stop at that low, let it run. But because I'm actively trading this, I'm going for position size rather than trying to get the count 100% right. It'll eventually show itself. I see the possibility that this is a completed diagonal, getting a sideways correction. If we break out, it could be a third wave. That's the way I'm looking at it. And if we stall out, it's probably just making a bigger diagonal. All right, guys, so I wish I had more of an Elliott wave count for you here, but I don't. I've just previously seen these patterns play out multiple times, and what I expect to happen here is we get a 3, 4, 5 if this is an impulse, trend sideways above this previous level before we really launch. Or if we break this level, just be range bound for a very long time, come down, make ABCs, etc. So hopefully this coin gets momentum and we can reach those upper targets up around the 1.618. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.